All right, everybody. I am Rogue Torso, and welcome back to the 24carrotcraft server. And where have I been? I made this base tour video a month ago, said I wanted to make this a weekly thing, and I disappeared. Well, in that video, I said I was feeling under the weather, and it turned out I was really going to feel under the weather. I caught the flu. I've never had the flu before, don't wish it on anybody, but that put me down for a couple of weeks. And then when I got well, I immediately got pneumonia. So I have been very ill over the past 4 or 5 weeks, but I got some good antibiotics now. I've been on those for a couple weeks. I'm feeling much better. And I was ready to make another Minecraft video. I've been really anxious to do this. I have been working a little bit off camera, so we'll show you a few things here. The first thing, whoops. There we go. The first thing I'll show you, if you remember, these storage systems were open. They weren't completely covered. I went through and finished all that off. So I got the resources I need. I basically had everything I need. They're closed on the top, so they look better from every angle. So I did finish that off, clean that up a little bit. This was the ugly tunnel out to my villager breeder. As you can see, I've cleaned that up. So you just open that up and you can go out there. It still looks ugly, but at least it's hidden, so it looks a little better from here. As we go, one thing I didn't explain, let me go downstairs. I showed you guys the storage system. Up top, I showed you how the iron falls down the tube, ends up in the storage system. I never really showed you how that works. So there's a central column of water right here that actually ends right there on that level. And then as you can see, it flows out here, goes across this ice block and into the hopper here. And that hopper feeds over into the first module of the storage system. So that's where everything collects. So the iron, comes down from below. Anything that gets made down below comes shooting up the top. It's kind of cool. If you stand up top, it'll actually shoot up quite a few blocks into the open tunnel and fall back down before it goes in. But that's how the central column works. I never really explained that, so I wanted to clean that up. So that's that, and like I say, I covered all those, trying to do some things that, as I made the video, I realized I've just kind of been lazy about, so I've done that. As you can see, I haven't moved this water source yet. I've been using that, so I kept it. The other thing I noticed, I walked by this cactus farm several times, never really talked about it. It's nothing necessarily really special. It uses the simple mechanic. You put a solid block just above and just to the right of a one high cactus. As the cactus grows, it can't be next to a solid block, so that piece pops off and it ends up down here in the water streams and comes down and into the central column and goes up to the storage system. Not the fastest farm in the world, but it's given me all the cactus and all the green dye I need. And I like the green glass and how it's kind of clear and open. I think that looks really cool. So I was pretty proud of that, and I did that. What was the other thing I wanted to show everybody? Oh, back here, and you'll notice some changes. We'll go over that in a minute. But back here, I showed you guys all these farms, all the storage system, everything I was doing back there. And I showed you, where all the farms here came from. I never showed you where the melon and pumpkins come from. So I wanted to do that. And they're actually back here in this little alcove here. So you got 10 pumpkin plants per row. Oh, sorry. These are pumpkins over here. This is melons. 10 melons per row, 3 high. So you got 30 melon plants, 30 pumpkin plants on this side. The observer watches the stem. Anytime a pumpkin grows, the stem updates. Observer reads it, punches off the melon or pumpkin or whatever it is into a water stream, which flows out in this area, comes across, and ends up going into the bulk storage system up there. So that's pretty cool, and that's how that all ends up. But I realized I never showed anything. So I think that cleans up everything from the first video that I missed. This area here I've worked on some. You can see the, I had this last villager here. This was all just stone still. Went out, collected some resources, carried this pattern out, to the next alcoves here. I also went in and instead of leaving the gray stone that I had, looked pretty ugly, I put the cut sandstone back there. I think that looks a lot nicer. So I did that around the villagers. I think I'm going to bring in like a cleric and maybe a fisherman because over here, I couldn't keep the pattern the way I had to do the storage system. And I may have been able to do this a little cleaner, but this is how it ended up. And it works, so I'm going to use it. But this is all the drops from my mob farm. So I put some storage in for that. As you can see, I got the gunpowder string, arrows, bones, sugar there. glowstone, redstone. I don't get a lot of these, just the occasional witch. You know, what is it, a 15% chance or something of getting one of these drops from each witch, and you don't get a lot of witches, but I figured I'd put them in here anyway because they're pretty handy. You know, you can see I've collected a little bit, not a whole lot, but you know, over time it'll build up. I got the rotten flesh, so that's what I want to bring the cleric in for. Figure I can trade with him right there. Same with the, I believe it's fisherman that can trade for string. Either way, we'll figure that out. But I added all that in. Same basic storage system, the Impulse SV designed for the bulk sorter. I just don't have all the bulk sorters hooked up with the lights on. Like I said, I don't get huge amounts of drops from that mob farm. Matter of fact, I haven't even AFK'd since I built this thing. But it's in there. And I can show you back here where all that works. So it's kind of noisy in here with all the pistons firing and stuff, isn't it? But we'll go back here real quick. You know, this was the mob farm. I showed you that. Basically, before everything dumped into a chest that was in here, you can see the hopper chain. I'm trying to think if I can get in here and see this without screwing it up. Anyway, you can see the clock right there. It goes into a... gotta be careful here. Let's see if I can get over here, maybe. Oh, that figures. Just ruined all my redstone, probably. Yep. Alright, well, we'll have to fix that. But since it's already broke now. Okay, so you can see what's going on here. Same kind of hopper clock I had where... Let's go ahead and get in here and pick this stuff up. So, the hoppers come across, they go in here. I have the same kind of hopper clock I've used before. Anytime something in here, it fires straight up. Goes through the glass blocks, ends up in that water stream up here, which flows all the way across up here. Yeah, so it flows down this tunnel, around the corner, into this ice block, and this is the water elevator that goes up to the storage system. Same one that all the vegetables come in. They come in from over here. I just put this over here. That way each one of them has, you know, the vegetables hit this solid block. The mob drops hit a solid block on this side. So they all end up in the water stream and end up top. So that's been good. I don't have to come down here and collect, and it gets automatically sorted. But like I said, I haven't even went AFK. I just got that done a while back. Haven't went AFK. Decided I didn't want to do that. But that's that. So coming over here, still have one random chest to clean up. There was a whole bunch more sitting here. I had the ugly stairs that went up to the storage system. I got rid of that. Obviously, I need to come in and clean up the floor. We're going to do this one of these days. I really like this green and cut sandstone look. You can see I carried it through up there. I just got to replace some of the middle layers where I tried to use the granite. The granite just wasn't looking like I wanted it to. So there's that. Couple other things that I kind of fixed. Remember, there was a lot of mob sounds in here. I actually had to stop and, you know, put the hostile mob sounds down, and then I got attacked in the stairway. I think I figured out what that was. So as I went around here, you know, I started to walk around these farms and kind of look at them real close. These blocks are spawnable, and I think that's where my mobs were coming from. There was some low light areas here. They were spawning right on here. I actually had a zombie attack me when I was up here who had a full stack of beetroot in his hand, so he'd been there a while collecting it. So I just spanned some torches around here. Eventually I want to come back and do this walkway and put some lighting in the walkway, which should fix that. So there's that. But the project I want to kind of work on today, I do want to work on this, but before I work on this, I want to fix this stairway because it's just kind of ugly. The reason this is recessed is I actually had it here, but I didn't like the way, you know, I had to kind of leave this post, and then it kind of came out, you know, had like a cavity back here. I didn't like the way it looked, so I just kind of put another layer over it and left that recessed. I want to fix this up and make it look better. I don't know that I can make it a whole lot bigger. Might be able to widen it out some, but I want to fix this, and I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. I think I want to replace the stone stairs, you know, maybe put some darker wood in here, just make it feel a bit warmer. Definitely get some lights in here. This part, though, rather than wall this off and just forget it, I think what I might do is, you know, I don't think it's that big of a cave system. Well, maybe it is. But I've got it pretty well lit up. Ooh, except for over there. So I guess I don't have it lit up as much as I thought. There's a whole area down here that's not lit up. So we'll have to fix that. But I'm not really worried about that too much. What I am worried about, you know, I can wall this area off. I'm not too worried about that. We'll light it up to, you know, to stop mobs, at least for now. Oh, wow, there's all kinds of water back here. Cool, it leads out to water. I did not know that. I might have to use that at some point. But anyway, rather than wall this off from the stairway and just have a block wall stairway that's completely uninteresting, I thought what I might do is put like a glass wall here and then go through and actually terraform this a little bit and, you know, make it look like a much more interesting cave. Maybe get rid of some of the diorite, you know, maybe some of the coal, or maybe leave the coal. We'll come through here, do some different stones, some andesite. You know, I'm sure some of you have seen videos. The one thing that I'm a little nervous about, I've never really terraformed before, and I'm much more of a, you know, building with, you know, patterns and builds like that. I'm not very good at doing organic things that just kind of have to be random. So I'm going to work a little bit on this. I'm going to try some things in the stairway, kind of see what I like, try some different woods, that sort of thing. I might widen it out one step. It's a little cramped at 2. I might widen it out to 3 wide. But I'm going to work on this a little bit and try some terraforming. And it might take me a little while, but I'll be back and then we'll go from there. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, everybody. So status update. I've been working on these stairs a little bit, trying some different things. So you can see the wood pattern here. I wanted to kind of warm things up. There's a lot of stone, glass, you know, very antiseptic feel. I wanted this to feel a little warmer. And I like the alternating colors. So you can see I used the oak alternating with the birch here in the middle. Have the stripe kind of leading around as a path. And then we do the opposites on the top. So we got the birch on the outside, oak on the inside. Continue the stripe around. You know, let it kind of flow and all this. It's taken a while to get here because I actually had to move this doorway back 2 spaces. So this doorway used to be on these 2 blocks, so I had to move the entire stairway that way. So it took a little while to tear it down. And the reason I had to do that is when we got to this landing, I needed this pillar here, and it kind of went in behind it, and it just didn't look right. So I moved everything over, and now that's fixed. So this is what I got so far. Still trying to figure out what to do with the walls. I'm a little crunched here because the same wall that's, you know, the wall of the stairway is also the wall here. So anything I do in here, you know, anything I do in here, I'm going to be able to see out here. May not be a big deal. We'll see how it looks. I left a block. I did come out here a little bit. I had some spawns, so I went ahead and built this wall up. I had a slime spawn on top of here that I had to come kill. I need to make sure this is non-spawnable too. More of an annoyance than anything really. I haven't had anything else spawn like on the levels, so I think I took care of that for now. But so I'm gonna work a little more on what I can do with, you know, the walls here. Figure out I need a little more lighting in the middle. It's a little bit dark, so we'll figure out what we can do there. And I'll be back in a little bit. All right, everybody. Welcome back. See, we got some progress made here on the stairs. I didn't do anything with the outside wall. I'll have to think about that for later. I don't want to mess with what it looks like on this side, and I'm not sure what the final plan is there. Lesson learned. Next time, you know, leave yourself an extra layer so that you can do different things inside and out. But we ran some lights here on the inside. We, you know, filled it in with some wood. We're just finishing putting the floor in here with some slabs. But I think it looks pretty cool. We still need to do some things maybe with these end caps. But I think it looks pretty cool. So, you know, you'll enter from here. You'll see the neat little pattern here. We use the oak logs that are non-stripped. We use the oak planks. We use the birch planks. Mixed a lot of different textures and colors here. We go up the stairs. We turn. This is where the cave will be terraformed, and we'll have lights you'll be able to see in here and see a pretty cool landscape, which I think is going to be pretty neat. Like I said, we'll have to do some of these end caps. I'm not sure what that is yet. Maybe just a stone pattern to break up the wood a little bit. And then you go all the way to the top and you empty out. So I think that looks pretty good. This is way more detail. I've put a lot more thought into this than probably anything I've ever built. So you know, I don't normally use wood as a building material very often. You know, probably the most wood I've used is back in the big room where I had all the white concrete and the stripped oak, or stripped birch, I mean. That's a lot of wood for me. Oh, by the way, I did have this working. I'll have to go again. I had this working again, but it looks like they've locked up. But anyway, so I think the next step, I think I'm kind of finished with the stairway. Next step, I'll see what I want to do with the end caps, and then we'll come back and we'll start terraforming this. That might take me quite a while. Like I say, I don't terraform, and it kind of terrifies me to even try. So I'll have to watch a couple videos and see what we can do. And there's quite a bit of area here to terraform, but there's only so much you can do with a cave. We'll see. We'll see if I can do it. It's going to stretch me a little bit, but that was kind of the whole point of this: is to really put myself out there and challenge myself, and people can critique as they want or give suggestions. That's fine. I can take criticism, but so yeah, I'll be back in a little bit, and we'll do this cave and glass this in, and try to finish this off. All right, hi everybody. Update time. I'm done with the terraforming of the cave, and I'm have impressed myself, and maybe I haven't impressed anybody else, but I really thought it would take a lot longer. It took me maybe an hour or two to kind of get everything right, more like an hour, but I'm pretty proud of it. So here we go. We're going to reveal it. Oops, if I can remember how to use F5. But here we are, and I left this glass out. I'll put it back in a minute, but I wanted to be able to get in here and see what we ended up with. And here you go. And yeah, I think it looks pretty good. We got all the different stones we mixed in. We got the cracked stone bricks, we got the cobblestone, the mossy cobblestone, the walls, the pillars, looking like stalagmites there. And pretty deep cave. You can see quite a bit from the angle you get. I tried to hide all the lights, so you don't see random torches laying around. It gets a little dark in a couple places, but other than that, it's not too bad. But we can go back in here, and you can kind of see I left all the coal here. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with how it turned out. There you can see some of the torches that are around, but you can't see them from the stairway, so that's why I left them. Tried to be strategic about it. Really, the hardest thing, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was. The hardest thing was getting I had to go to a jungle biome and get vines to make the mossy stone, so that took me a while. Otherwise, I'd have been back on. But yeah, so I'm pretty impressed, and I think it looks pretty cool. And so we can take and put the glass back in. I'm a little. I wish I had like a clear glass texture. I should probably look for one because it kind of shuts it off. You can see what's going on in there, but maybe not as well as you'd like to, or maybe you can. I don't know. It's not too bad, I guess. Uh, but yeah, so I've got the terraforming done. So that only leaves these end caps. Still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with those guys. I'm kind of at a blank. I'll have to give it some thought here, but first terraforming job done. Cross that off the bucket list, and yeah, so there it is. So we'll work on these. I don't know what to do with these end caps. We'll have to see. I kind of don't want to run. I want to maybe run a little wood, and then maybe mix in some stone patterns. Um, we'll see. I gotta go get some stone. I don't have it all with me, but I'll give that some thought. And you guys can tell me if I'm wrong with what I come up with. But then when we're done, I think that finishes this project out, and we can move on to the next one. So I'll go get some materials and start playing with this and see what I come up with. And see you in a little bit. All right, hi everyone. I've been doing some thinking, little experimenting. I've actually done a lot of this already, but we've got a pattern for this, so we're gonna knock out some of the wall here, and I'll show you what we've been doing in some of the other areas. Hopefully you like it, but I haven't actually done any building on camera, so I thought I'd kind of knock that little task off the bucket list. We got some quartz here, which I had quite a bit of quartz in storage. I hadn't really used it for anything, so I thought I would. And the reason that I think I can use quartz is because, and I haven't talked about this, we're going to be resetting the server pretty soon. So 1.14 came out a couple weeks ago, had a lot of bugs, but so they're waiting for it to get updated. The other thing that has to happen before we reset is they have to update all of the plugins that we use for the server here, and so that's going to take a little while. They're thinking a couple of months, at least that's what they announced a couple of weeks ago. But so we'll be starting on a whole new world from square one, and all of this work will be out the window. But you know, that's what makes it fun. I love starting new worlds, and you know, I think it's going to be really cool. You know, to be able to start from scratch. I can, you know, make videos, and you guys will get to see me punching trees and collecting resources and dying in caves and all the fun stuff that we do like that. I do notice that we have a situation here. I wonder if I can't. I wonder if I can't just maybe fill this in. I don't know about that. I don't have any oak logs with me, and I'm not going to be able to do that up here. So maybe I just leave it. You know, that wall's not going to change either. So yeah, maybe we just need to leave that alone for now. I don't think it matches some of the other walls that we have, and I don't like the way that looks. So we'll put that back real quick. Hopefully I have some stone. I can actually put it back, but let's see here. Stone. Oh yeah, always have stone available. Anytime you live underground and you're doing, you know, things, digging, you know, these huge rooms and stuff, you're gonna have stone laying around somewhere. So I think we're done with the stairway now. So let's go on in here and kind of walk up. You know, we just did the end caps here, so that's what they look like. We got the stairs that we started a long time ago. We get up here to the cave that we terraformed, which, you know, I'm still pretty proud of. I think, you know, once I go off camera, if you got logged on and came to my base, you're probably going to catch me just kind of looking at this, because I'm really happy with how that turned out. Next time I make a cave base, I'm going to remember this, because I need to quit just using stone walls and being boring, because that looks way better. So there's that, you know, all the end caps, and we go all the way up to the top, where we come out in our potato farm, and, you know, where our villagers are just working away. So you can see how big this farm field is. You don't need all that. I could have cut that off by a lot. Lesson learned for next time. I will not make a farm that big. But with that, I'm going to have to piece this episode together. But for now, we've done some building on camera. We did some terraforming. We got this stairway done. Next time, maybe we'll work on some of the farms here. Maybe we'll work on the floor. I'm not sure what we'll do next time. I've got a couple projects in mind. We got the big room in the middle that, you know, still needs a lot of work. Oh, maybe it's not spawnable up there because of all the lights and the slabs. Oh, cool. Sorry, I get distracted easily. But like I say, there's a reset coming in the next, you know, couple of months where we'll start from scratch, so that's always fun. But for now, I think we're going to end the episode. I'll get this edited up and get it sent out. And it's the weekend here right now. I've got some time. I'm hoping to put together some more videos, and kind of catch up for the weeks I was out. So with that, Rogue Torso out. We'll see you next time.